I didn't want us to merge. I didn't really want us to merge. I like our galaxy. I like its shape. I like it. I didn't want us to merge. Okay. Hi, Nathan. Let me say hi to everybody. Okay, there was some weird person saying the same thing way too many times. Hi, Pranay. How are you doing? Hi, Wonder Boy. Hi, Steven. Hi, Pranay again. Hi, Aman. Hi, Aman. Hello. Hi, Abul Fazl. Hi, Nathan. Hi. Hi, Aroldo. Hi, Kakit. Hi, Berang. Hi, Ishan. Ishan said nice earrings. Thank you. What's your name? Nathan, what's your name? Her name's Hufflepuff. I love that. Hi, everybody. Okay, everybody, thank you so much once again for being here. If you're just now joining, please do rewind and see the update of the century that we just gave about the Andromeda Milky Way merger and how it's not so certain after all. We may not merge with Andromeda after all. So please do see the whole live. Thank you so much. Yes, it would take 5 billion years, but what used to be considered a certainty collision is now being considered as a much less certain collision. And it's in fact like a 50% chance of not colliding. So that's the important update here. Hi, Abul Fazil. Hi, Acacio. Hi, Kalkid. Hi, Nathan. Nathan, how are you? Stephen, how are you? Stephen says, when I was in high school back in the 1980s, I had this same idea in a comic book form. I'm pretty sure you're the smartest person streaming right now. Thank you, Kay Hackett. 7, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kay Hackett, Abul Fazal, Acacio, Stephen, everybody. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Next, we will talk about matter and antimatter and how there might be some more probabilities of interest to us that tell us why there is more matter than antimatter and why indeed we ended up being here, because we would not be here if certain things had not gone a certain way. And in fact, if there was an equal amount of matter and antimatter which annihilated each other and only made radiation, then interesting things like you and me and atoms would not be forming. And so this is something we will talk about and read about and discuss in detail from the book called Atom by Professor Dr. Lawrence Krauss, which actually happens to be one of our favorite books and one of the favorite books that people have recommended or requested in this live. So get ready for this next topic going on next, okay? In the meantime, how is everyone doing, my loves? I'm great camping out in the tent at the lake. Oh, Cassia says buenas noches. Buenas noches. How are you? I have a question. Avoid, I'm not an anomaly. I think they have just taken into account more factors than they did before, and they have taken into account M33's contribution as well as the large Magellanic Clouds contribution to us merging or not merging. But there's a lot of different factors in the calculation which might not have been taken into account earlier, and also we're working with the more accurate data. And it's also that we had estimated this a while ago, and it was time to kind of probably confirm everything with the newest data. For the longest time, we thought it was a certainty, a sure shot certainty, but it's not so certain after all, is what we're finding with the new data.